Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online classes on tenses. This is the third session on tense. In the previous classes, we have learned past tense and present tense and the four divisions of past tense as well as present tense. In today's class, we will learn about the future tense. Now, future tense is used to indicate the actions that are going to take place in the future. Some actions are based on assumptions, some future actions are based on predictions, some future actions are based on planning. Whatever be the case, all kinds of future actions are represented using the four forms of future tense, that is simple future, future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous. So these are the four forms of future tense. So let us see how we use simple future to represent future actions. I have written a few examples here on the board. Let us learn future tense, simple future with the help of these examples. It will rain tonight. Now, what indicates the verb here in this sentence? See here, this phrase will rain, two words, will plus rain, shows the action or they represent the verb part in this sentence, it will rain tonight. Now, the action is going to take place. So how do you know that it is going to rain? Probably the meteorologist has already given his prediction, but you are sure that this action is going to take place in the future. So we have used it will rain tonight. Now see here, I will meet you tomorrow. Here will meet represent the action. This represents the verb part. This is the verb. We have will used as an auxiliary verb and here meet as the main verb. Now what does this indicate? I will meet you tomorrow. It is a kind of formal expression. Any formal expression in future tense is usually expressed using simple future. So I will meet you tomorrow. See here, Raju will help you. Will help represents the verb part in this sentence and it is in simple future. So this is a kind of promise. Raju will help you, an offer or a kind of promise. So predictions, promises, offers, etc. are usually stated in English using future simple. And see here, she will participate in the competition. Will participate indicates the willingness on the part of her to be a part of the competition. So, will participate. Now, just to see the verb part, how do you represent future simple tense? And the verb part is will plus base form of the verb. And see here, rain, the verb, it is the base form. Here, meet is the base form. We are just taking the base form of the verb. We are not going to the past tense or we are not going to the past participle. We are using will plus base form of the verb. Here, will plus help. Here, will plus participate. So, to express future actions in a very simple way, to speak about predictions and assumptions and promises, we can use simple future tense. and the verb part is expressed using will plus base form of the verb. We can see that in the examples given here. Now let us move on to the next tense, that is future continuous. See, we have already seen past continuous and present continuous. So what does the term continuous mean? It represents an action that is going on for some time. When? In the future. So future continuous tense speaks about an action that is going to prolong for some time in the future. Okay, so now let us see that with the help of an example. So look at the first sentence here. Students will be attending the classes from tomorrow. So what does that indicate? Attending the classes, that is going to happen in the future for a prolonged time. See, imagine this is the timeline. This is now. Now, attending the classes, see, from tomorrow means tomorrow they are going to start, and then onwards, from tomorrow onwards, they'll be attending the classes regularly. So, the future action will continue. We don't know when the action will be completed. We only know that the action of attending the classes is going to happen for some time in the future. And the action begins only tomorrow. Now, see the verb part of it. Will plus be plus ing form of the verb. That is how verb is represented in future continuous tense. Now see this, we will be playing football. What does it mean? It means that we are going to play football for some time in the future. We want to indicate that the action is continuous. So we are using future continuous tense. So we don't know when the action is going to begin. We only know that the action is continuous in the future. Now see here, I will be dealing with that. So when you say I will be dealing with that, it means that probably there is some controversial issue or there is some problem and you need to spend some continuous time for it. So we say, I will be dealing with that. Now see here, she will be reading Harry Potter. So she will be reading Harry Potter means that she is going to read Harry Potter and the action of reading will take some time. The action of reading will be continuous. So, future continuous tense is used to express actions that are going to happen continuously for some time in the future. Now, see the verb part here, will plus be plus ing form of the verb. Like will be attending, will be playing, will be dealing, will be reading. So that is how future continuous tense is used. Now, let us see the next tense, future perfect tense. We have seen past perfect tense and present perfect tense. And we know that perfect tenses usually represent completed actions. So here also, future perfect tense is used to represent an action that will be completed in the future. So how do you know when the action starts? That we don't know. The action might have started in the past, the action might be starting now, or the action may be starting only in the future. We only know that the action will be completed by or with respect to a particular point of time in the future. Let's see by an example. See here, I will have completed my course by next month. So the word Next month tells us that the action will be completed only by then. And what does this mean? Will have completed, which means I am already doing the course. I might have started the course sometime in the past, and the course will go on in the future, and my thrust is on the completion of course, and the course will be completed by next month. So here you see the course might have started here, or the course might be starting at present. We only know that I will have completed the course. So by next month comes somewhere over here. So the course will be completed at this specific time. That specific time is next month. How is the verb represented? Will plus have plus past participle form of the verb. Will have completed. Now see this sentence, she will have finished cooking before the guests arrive. Now again, the guests, they have not yet arrived. When will they arrive? They'll arrive only in the future. And she has this plan, she will have finished cooking. So imagine there are two actions in the future. This is the arrival of guests. And before the guests arrive, she will have finished her cooking. So this represents the cooking getting completed. So an action that will be completed in the future with respect to another action is represented here. She will have finished cooking before the guests arrive. Cooking will be completed. The thrust is on that. So this statement means that the guest will arrive in the future, but before that, she will complete her cooking. So she will have finished cooking. Finishing cooking happens here. The guest's arrival happens here. Now see the next example. Anne will have saved rupees 50,000 by next year. Now, will have saved. This is the verb part. So what does this mean? It emphasizes, this sentence emphasizes that Anne will have 50,000 rupees. Anne will have saved 50,000 rupees by next year. Imagine this is that next year, and with respect to this point of time next year, Anne will have already saved rupees 50,000. So the completion of the action saving is mentioned in this sentence. So see the verb part, will plus have plus V3. When you say V3, that is the past participle form of the verb. So to represent an action that might have started long back, that might be starting now, or that is going to start in the future, whatever be the case, our thrust is only on the completion of the action in the future. So these past participle forms of the verbs indicate that. So this is the use of future perfect tense. Let's move on to the next tense, that is future perfect continuous tense. Let's see that by the example. By the time we reach Niagara Falls, we will have been driving for 8 hours. Now here in this sentence, will have been driving represents the verb part. So what does this sentence mean? We have started driving, we are driving, we will be driving, and driving will continue in the future also, and the action of driving will be completed. By the time we complete the action of driving, it will be 8 hours. So, future perfect continuous tense is used to represent an action that will be continuing in the future and it will be completed also. So, to represent an ongoing future action that will be completed, we use future perfect continuous tense. So here in this sentence, the action of driving, we don't know when this action has started. It might have started, we might be starting now, or we may start later also. The only thing that we know, the future action of driving will be a continuous action and it will be completed. See the sentence, when he retires next year, he will have been teaching for 25 years. So what does this sentence mean? He has started his teaching career sometime back in the past. At present also he is teaching. In the future also he is teaching. And after a year he will retire. And when he retires, he will have an experience of 25 years. So the thrust is on the teaching that will be continuing in the future and that will be completed. And see here, next month she will have been completing her graduation. So what does that mean? Graduation, it requires minimum 3 years. So she has started her course sometime back and in the future she will be completing that. So that is future perfect continuous tense, to represent an action that will be continuing in the future and the action that will be completed later on in the future. So now future perfect continuous, let us see the verb part, will plus have plus been plus ing form of the verb. See here, will, for all future tenses you have will, then have been. Been is the past participle form of the word be and this represents the perfect present in this, and the ing form of the verb driving here, it represents the continuous action that we are going to do. So we have learned all the 4 tenses with respect to the future tense. All 4 forms of future tense we have seen in this class. Now, you must have come across some statements like this. I meet my friend tomorrow. What is the tense of that sentence? I meet my friend tomorrow. See, present tense, simple present tense is used to express a future action. When are you going to meet your friend? In the future, that is tomorrow. But which is the tense used? The tense used is simple present. And sometimes we have also seen present continuous tense is used to represent future. Say for example, I am going to see a movie. I am going to see a movie. See, I am going to, it speaks about the continuous action in the future. Present continuous tense. So what does that indicate? These tenses are also used to indicate future actions, but usually planned actions. When you say, I meet my friend tomorrow, it means it's already planned and it's going to happen in the near future. When you say, I am going to see a movie tomorrow, it means that you have already planned for the movie, you must have booked the ticket, and the action of going to see the movie, that is already decided upon. So to speak about such future actions, we can also use simple present or present continuous. Okay. Now, in any formal conversation or in formal discussions, when you want to speak about formal issues or when you want to make formal statements, you have to use future and its 4 forms. Say for example, the headmaster will meet you tomorrow. The headmaster will meet you tomorrow. It's a formal one. The headmaster wants to meet the student and the meeting is fixed for tomorrow. See, in such cases, you have to use simple future, that is will plus the base form of the verb. Okay. So that is about the future tense. Now, in your first PUC syllabus, you have tenses to study and you have 4 marks question asked based on tenses. and it is in the fill in the blanks mode. So let us see how questions are asked in the examination based on tenses. So the question comes like this. Fill in the blanks with suitable form of the verbs given in the brackets. 4 into 1 is equal to 4 marks. So there will be 4 blanks and there will be 1 mark each for each blank. So total 4 marks. The goddess stood before me. Her tresses dash, in brackets you have the verb be, wild, her eyes dash, in brackets gleam with a strange light. She dash, in brackets carry a sword in her hand. She dash dash, in brackets have splashed her forehead with vermilion. Now what is the key to solve these blanks? See the first sentence here, the goddess stood before me. So from this we understand that it's a kind of narration. And it is in the past tense. Simple past tense form of stand is used. The goddess stood. So the next sentence also can be represented in its past tense form. See the first blank here, her tresses dash wild, her eyes dash with a strange light. So you have to take the past tense form of the verb be and tresses plural. So which means be has got 2 past tense form, was and were. So here since tresses is plural, we have to use were. So her tresses were wild, her eyes gleamed, past tense of the word gleam, with a strange light. She dashed a sword in her hand. Past tense of carry is carried. So she carried a sword. She dash her forehead with vermilion. So have and splash in the brackets. So you have to go for its past tense form. She had splashed her forehead with vermilion. See, had splashed tells us about the action that happened first, even before the goddess appeared in front of me. So it is she had splashed her forehead with vermilion. So 4 blanks. If you do correctly, you will have 4 marks for the tense part. Now let's see one more example. Very little communication took place between us. Death soon dash what little we could have while she dash. See, the first sentence tells us that it's again a kind of narration and it is in simple past. So the next also is in simple past, has to be filled using simple past tense. Death soon dash what little we could have while she dash. So past tense of end is ended and live is lived. So death soon ended what little we could have while she lived. She dashed when I was about 7 years. So she died, past tense of die is died. I was not dashed to be present during her burial. I was not allowed, past tense of allow is allowed. So the exercises on tenses are very simple, and if you know how to frame sentences in the correct way, how to represent the sentences using tense forms, it's quite easy for you. Hope you understood all the 3 tense forms, past, present and future. Now please do the exercises given in your workbook on the tense and make sure that you understand this concept. Thank you.